Good evening. I have a message to share with you all this evening, and we'll start off talking about a preacher that was out of town for a few days and speaking at another congregation, and he realized after he got there that he had forgot something to pack and something he was going to need, and he needed to go to a local shopping mall and pick up something at a department store. So he got there and was looking for what he needed, and then an announcement came over the store intercom, a code Adam. The voice said, not code red, code blue, code green, but code Adam, an actual name. Salespeople and employees immediately stationed themselves at all the exits. Everyone jumped into action. Code Adam, a child was missing, presumably somewhere in the store. The child's mother was in the women's shoe department and suddenly realized that her little one had gone off the radar. The preacher says, if this was my child or a grandchild, I would want folks to help, pitch in and help and look. So he did. So he searched the nearest clothing racks, the back of the men's shoe department, closest dressing room, even looked under a couple of the draped tables, but no child. Several minutes elapsed, new information could come out. The missing child was only 3 years old, blonde little boy, blue shirt and khaki shorts. More time went by. Now employees and the mall security and customers alike were all scouring the department store. Maybe he had wandered out into the mall itself. So a couple ventured out a few steps, still no child in sight. A dad pushing a young daughter in a stroller passed by me, and his eyes were running up and down the aisles of the store. Turned out this wasn't the father of the missing boy. He just had a 3-year-old of his own and was convinced that the toddler was probably closer than anyone realized. Then came the boy's mom. Her face was ashen white, her lips were parched. You could see the panic in her eyes. The manager of the store was escorting her around, hoping that she might spot her child. He says, as soon as I saw her, her complexion changed. There he is, she cried. The father-daughter stroller crew had found him, sitting underneath a rack of clothes near the South Mall exit. The little boy had left his mother in the women's shoes and wandered alone across the entire length of the store before deciding to stop in the children's department. Where else do you find lost children but in the children's department? A new announcement came over the intercom, cancel code Adam. He had been found, all is okay. Code Adam for a lost child. We get alerts on our cell phones, a Amber Alert, when a child goes missing or is kidnapped, taken. I recently found out there's such thing as a code Silver when an elderly person goes missing or gets in their car and drives off and no one knows where they're going. Both instances are urgent. It's a serious matter. If you saw a Amber Alert on your phone with a such car and you saw that car, you would jump into action. You would want to help. It's important. You want to do something. Same way in a department store for a lost child, you're going to help. If something similar to happen here at the church building, of course, we would all jump in and spring into action to help because it's important. We'll do so even for if someone loses an item like their phone. One of our older members one night could not find her phone and searched everywhere. Looked in her purse, said looked in her car. A couple of us were trying to assist her, trying to find it, going through the auditorium. I even got down on my knees, digging under the car seat, looking at all the cracks and crevices for this phone because she was a little upset, couldn't find it. Turns out it was in her purse. All is well. But no matter what it is, we are there to help. We take it seriously when something's lost or something's missing. So what about when our members of our own church family are missing from our services? Do we look at that with the same seriousness, the same urgency? If someone misses a church service, I wouldn't say that's an urgent matter, but that's an important matter. If they're gone a month, I think we're creeping more toward the urgent. Do we look at it the same way? Now, folks may be out, they may be sick. Maybe someone's having problems at home that no one else knows about. Maybe they're just out of town on a trip. Has anyone gone by and checked? There's many reasons, good reasons it could be. The past couple of years, dealing with this pandemic, we've had so many that cannot be with us due to their health concerns. We have folks of this congregation that have yet to be back here with us in person due to this pandemic. We're thankful for our online services, that ability to do that, to reach our members that can't be here. That service is reaching people that's not even part of this congregation, not even in our state, that are seeing our services and being part of it. But their own health may be the reason. Maybe they're a caregiver. Maybe the health of their spouse, their loved one, their child, their grandchild that needs constant care. There's acceptable reasons for not being here. I imagine if someone is missing, we naturally think about, well, our minister, our preacher, will probably check on them. And I know he would. If you asked Ricky, Josh about somebody, I'm sure they're going to say, well, I will check on them. They're not doing it because they're the minister. They just do it because they care. They do it as their Christian duty. We also think about our elders. If one of the flock goes missing, absolutely they're going to want to check on them. They have an obligation to check on them. In Luke 15, verse 4, reads, "What man of you, having 100 sheep, if he loses one of them, does not leave the 99 in the wilderness and go after the one which is lost until he finds it?" In 1 Peter chapter 5, starting in verse 2, "Shepherd the flock of God which is among you, serving as overseers, not by compulsion, but willingly, not for dishonest gain, but eagerly, nor as being lords over those entrusted to you, but being examples to the flock. And when the chief shepherd appears, you will receive the crown of glory that does not fade away." So the elders, our ministers, will be checking on those that aren't with us. But what about the rest of us? What's our part? Can we not do the same and feel that same urgency to help and check on others? We don't have to be, we're not being nosy. We're not trying to get in anyone's business, not invading privacy. We're not looking for a doctor's excuse because you're not here. Just a simple card, phone call, a visit, just to come by and say, "We missed you." As simple as that. I had a member here at this congregation that I have not known very long. Tanya and I were out one Sunday morning, that Sunday evening, just in passing, they said, "Hey, missed you this morning." Just as simple as that. I had one of our older members that are shut in, hasn't been here in a long time, told me recently that she gets cards and she'll get an occasional phone call from someone. And she said, it just feels good that that you know that you're missed. Just a couple years ago, the elders in our edification committee met and discussed about our visitation program and how we could do better than we have been doing the past few years, last several years, and how we could improve that. How we could do better as a whole, as a congregation. So we've been doing things a little different the last 2 or 3 years, and more focus on visiting and reaching out and checking on people, and making sure that everyone is getting checked on. We wanted to do better. Can I do better? Ask yourself, can I do better? Can I do more in this work? Owen's going to come lead us in another song of encouragement. And if you have any need, your brothers and sisters in Christ are here to help you. Please come forward as we stand and sing.